Hello and welcome to the Friday Ask Me Anything. My name is Stephen Pope. I'm the founder of My Amazon Guy, and every Friday at noon, I come in and answer any Amazon question I can. I like to think of myself as the taxi driver of selling on Amazon. I don't actually know what's going on inside of Amazon. I am just the guy that drives the taxi cab around. But once I see enough things, enough people getting into my cab, and they're dropping off over at that one particular building, pretty good idea of what's going on from a deductive standpoint. So excited to talk to you guys today. We will prioritize donators to the channel, stickers, if you will, followed by member questions. So if you want to jump the queue and get your question in, you know how to do it. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So cool peeps, thanks so much for being a super fan and always joining us on our channel. Super appreciative. Let's jump into your question first. Geraldine on the back end, you're welcome to direct us from here. Cool Peep says, hi, Stephen, did your engagement email campaign work? It did not. They rejected it because I didn't have FBA stock in. The main item I was trying to showcase was my mega pint cup. I'll put it up on screen here. And I have sold 600 units in 3 weeks. Pretty much can't keep it in stock over at FBA. And so apparently with the email campaigns, you have to have FBA stock in or they won't send the campaign. So I have plenty of merchant fulfilled stock and hundreds of these things on the way to FBA, but they're not checked in. Amazon's kind of slow right now. So what do you do? So don't have any results to share on that. Does it go to everyone who's ever bought from your brand products or just the last 90 days? So in fact, neither of those two things. Inside of your brand store insights, which I will show up on screen here, you can go click on any brand. So Age of Sage, see insights, boom, right there. Hey, I have 341 followers. So guess what? It's not who bought your product, it's who followed the brand. That's who's going to receive those email campaigns. And if anybody's watching this and lost, doesn't know what we're talking about, I put a video out a few days ago about shipping emails, sending emails with your product offering to consumers who have followed your Amazon brand. Relatively easy to do this. And the trick or the problem or the challenge is you have to have followers. So how do you get followers, guys? You got to make social posts. So Amazon social posts are a thing and are super important. So I will showcase, I've written an article many times, many videos on this subject on how to do social posts. I've had social influencers come on and talk about how you can up those. Let's go to let's see. I got an article on this that might be very valuable. I'm not actually, I think maybe this is it, possibly. But basically, you can make social posts. So there's a social post for the Momster crew right there. I'll mute the video and hit play so you can kind of see some of this. And these are social posts that you can showcase about items. They show up on the Amazon detail page. And the reason why I'm showing a video instead of doing this live is because they don't show on desktop normally. So you got to show it on mobile phones. But it's a really great way to get followers. And you can showcase some of the examples. So we'll post a link to this article here that Amazon adopts Facebook-like social posting on its detail page. We'll post a link to that in the chat. Geraldine, if you could try and find that in the midst of our chaos of going between questions, please do so and post it in the chat. You get to send to the customer. In other words, replace the email asking for reviews. No, this is completely unrelated to the email that you can send consumers where you ask for a review. That's a push button, no customization. This particular email campaign, when you watch the video, you'll see you can put in any products you want into the email, which is kind of cool. And then finally, what is the free organic content you can create as a brand on Amazon? Brand story, social posts, are they the same? No, they're not. So let's go through the full gambit. Brand store right here. You can have Amazon.com/your brand name. So actually, anytime I type in this, it goes to my Amazon.com/Age of Sage. There's your vanity URL right there. You can create all these sort of sub pages. Most of you guys know about stores, so I won't dwell here. But going to my Mega Pint product, as we scroll down, this is the brand story. And you can see other things that the brand offers, other products, the text. You can click on products right here, which is pretty cool because then you can showcase other things. And by the way, I'm cross-contaminating my brands. So I have Momster products going over to Age of Sage. I have Age of Sage products going over to Momster, and that's totally fine. I am overstocked on this item right now. If you guys know anybody who is a new mom this year and you want to support the channel, go in and buy one of these new mommy gifts for 40 bucks. They are on sale. I don't make any money at 40. I need to sell them at 50 to make money. So good product, has lots of stuff in it, comes in a nice box. So that's the brand story. Next would be the A plus content. So you can scroll down and see the A plus content down here. Lots of text, big images, super important. Do all that stuff. Social posts, which don't normally show up on the desktop. So you don't have the visibility on this right here. That is also organic content you can control. And then anything on the detail page, really. That's pretty much all you have control over as a brand today. Lots of great questions there. Appreciate the insight there. Where is Sage? Okay, well, Edgar is the current client. We'll come back to David in a second. Sage is my 3-year-old daughter. She is off playing right now, probably in a swimming pool, probably, if I had to ask. All right, go ahead, Geraldine. Go ahead and take it over. David says, from your experience when pricing a product, what works best? $12.99, $98, $93. Which one? Everyone has mixed opinions, but I respect yours most, Steven, for president in 2024. Well, if they made me president, I would stop the Federal Reserve. I would get rid of the FDA. I'd get rid of a lot of agencies and government oversight committees that do jack crap. But no, $12.99 would be my pick. I think that consumers don't really care about those sort of price comparisons when they're shopping on Amazon. They're not going to make a different buying decision if it's at $12.93 or $12.99. Therefore, the biggest psychological change happens at that round number. And so $12.99 is my preference versus being at 13 even to avoid losing an extra conversion point. But I see nominal differences between 99, 98, 93, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm going to go for maximum margin on that question. Great question. David says, probably asked many times, but can you review the process of removing a review from a non-verified buyer? I had a boneheaded leave a stupid review with 1 star. Absolutely. So here we go. So what you're going to do over here is you're going to go to a live listing, go to the review section in question. Let's see if we can find one of these. So here's a 1-star review. No too cute. This one is a verified purchaser, but the same thing happens. Not what I was expecting. Why are 6 people voting that this was a helpful review? I don't know. I wouldn't say no too cute is a helpful review. You hit report abuse from the buyer side. That's all you can do from the buyer side. Boom, you're done. You want to have as many people click report on bad reviews like that. Next, here's the next thing you can do. You can go over to Seller Central, and I'm going to pull up another screen, pull it over here in a second. And we're going to hit help in the top right. And then we're going to go down and get support selling on Amazon. Let's see if the auto thing does well. Product review removal. Let's hit continue and see how that does. Nope. Well, feedback. That's questionable. Let's see. So, nope, they are not giving us a direct. So this is why I never use the box here. I always just scroll down and browse for my own issue. So in the drop down, let's see if we can find it. Products, listings, let's see if I can control F for review. Product reviews. Here we go. Found it. Isn't it stupid that Amazon's own help system can't, you type in product review removal and it doesn't pull this up? Like, what the heck, Amazon? I mean, like, that's an easy layup one, guys. All right. So it's like they almost don't want you to find this, huh? So short description, product reviews. Now here, they give you the actual instructions right here on how to do this, right? So you could go, we'll put this in another tab right here so we can go back and forth. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to click on the review like this. This is the review link. Please remove this product review, which violates Amazon's T&C for being helpful. Okay. And then link. And then you can post the actual review just like this. Control, copy, and paste. Boom, just like that. That covers everything below here, including, I believe that has the date in it. Yep, it's got the date of the review, direct link, boom, all done. And then you just hit submit, scroll to the bottom and hit submit. And that's it. That's how you report a review to try and get it down. Guess what, though? Percentage of likelihood of removing a product review, 3%. Even if you're in the right, 3%. Very difficult to remove product reviews, takes dozens and dozens of tickets. This is a great task for a virtual assistant. Just have your virtual assistant crawl your negative product reviews once a week and submit some removals, 3% removal rate, though. So you're going to be paying $20 to get one review removed on average from my experience. Let's go to the next one. Hey, Jahil, good to see you. How much does Amazon favor brands that consistently use social media as a way to drive traffic to their listings? Are there any specific things they've given about this would help your bids win more? So I would say that it's not going to help your PPC, but it will help your organic traffic rankings. You need sales to get sales. The more sales you have, the more sales you will get. Sounds weird, but it's a true statement. The way that the algorithm works is it pushes up products. The more success that they have, the more likely traffic that Amazon wants to drive to them. It's logical, right? So the more traffic you send to a listing and position it, whether from an external source or otherwise, you get the idea. If you push Facebook traffic, or if you push Google traffic, or wherever it might be from, it's going to be a good thing for you. Now, at My Amazon Guy, we have historically kept to the basics of shooting traffic through SEO and PPC inside of the platform itself. However, we have about a dozen clients and growing that we do Facebook advertising for now. So if this is of interest for you, you can go to myamazonguy.com, put your cursor on services, Facebook advertising in the bottom right. And we have various different plans, bronze, silver, gold, platinum. You guys can read about it on your own time. All right. So I'm a big fan of social posts, social traffic, all that good stuff. Let's go over to Helix. Thank you for the donation. What's your rule on increasing PPC campaigns? For example, if I have $50 a day a campaign and I want to increase it, do I increase it slow and steady each week, or can I increase it to 200 immediately? This is an easy one to answer. You can go straight to 200. The reason why this works is because you shouldn't be hitting the $50 cap to begin with. And if you are, and your ACOS is good, chances are by increasing the budget cap from 50 to 200, you're still going to maintain that ACOS within 2 points from my personal experience. Now, it'll probably increase your ACOS if it goes from $50 to $200 and the whole thing is spent. That will happen because that means there's just massive traffic demand right now. And the best way to control this is raise the budget and simultaneously pull down the bid. Not a whole lot, maybe 5 cents, just something to slow down a little bit to see like where the new daily spend threshold hits. Keep in mind that the traffic on Amazon is an ebb and flow, right? On Friday and Saturday, the lowest amount of purchases occur on the Amazon platform versus Sunday and Monday. It goes up. Almost every single category has this ebb and flow, with some exceptions, I'm sure, but by and large, almost every category follows this. And so that being the case, if you have a $200 budget, you might hit all $200 in budget on a Sunday and Monday. But on a Friday and Saturday, you might only spend $167 as a random example. This is normal because of the traffic ebbs and flows. So in general, you don't want your advertising campaigns hitting budget. And if you are limited to budget and you can only spend a certain amount, you should have a budget up there as a safeguard, as a rail on the road to keep you on the bridge. But you don't need that generally if you keep your bids and keywords and negations and search terms under control. So what I mean by this, if you have a $50 per day budget and you have a $1.50 bid, you might very well get away with dropping that $1.50 bid down to $1.21. And then you still end up spending all $50. Well, guess what? Instead of spending $50, let's actually pull up a calculator on this. I think that might be visually helpful. So I will pull this up on screen. So let's run the calculator here. And there we go. So let's say $50 budget divided by $1.50. Let's say that's our current bid right now. That means we're going to get 33 clicks. Well, let's say $50 divided by 0.121. That's 41 clicks, which is an extra 41 minus 33. We're looking at 8 clicks a day. Okay. If the conversion rate was 1 out of 8, 1 divided by 8, 12%, which is above average conversion rate, that means you get an extra order per day. So with a 12% conversion rate and 8 extra clicks for that $50 a day in ad spend, and let's say you're selling a $20 item, you just improved your ACoS tremendously because you made an extra $20 for the same exact spend. Now compound that by 365 days, $7,300 in annual revenue realized by making one keyword change of a bid reduction from $1.50 down to $1.21 with the assumption of a $50 campaign. Pretty cool, right? That's how you make business decisions right there. Use quantifiable data to make that. Now, of course, in a vacuum, you go from $1.50 down to $1.21. Does it always work out this way? Of course not. You may not spend that full $50, but we're running some assumptions to test it. And you need to make some assumptions to come up with a hypothesis, then go test it and see if the math checks out. Loved your question. Thank you for asking. Beast Canteen. What is the top of search impression share? IS. Is that first overall placement, first row, first page, desktop, or mobile? I don't believe I have read the help file that explains explicitly the answer to this question. Here's what I believe the answer to that question is. I believe that it is top of the page. So if we were to type in something like this, let's just type in gifts for mom. Let's see how up and running my products do. And at the top here, we have 4 sponsored products. So my belief is the top of impression share would include the full row. Now, any other PPC experts or knowledgeable folks, you guys want to weigh in this, feel free to leave a comment. We'd love to hear what you have to say. Anything below that top fold. So as we scroll down here and keep going, there's the sponsored video. As we keep going, here is the next 2 sponsored products. These would not be top of search impression share from my understanding. So we'll see if I'm right. All right, let's see if Monster's on page 1. Nope. Age of Sage. Nope. Looks like I've lost my page 1 rankings post Mother's Day. That's sad and depressing. I love being at the top for mom gifts and stuff like that. Let's go to the next donation here from Red Xenomorph. $5. Thank you, sir. My Amazon store account was blacklisted. Is there any way to fix this? Do I need to buy a whole new account and start over? Well, if you do buy a whole new account, chances are you're going to get connected to the former blacklist. So my question for you is, did you violate any Amazon rules knowingly? If the answer is yes, file suspension appeals, admit the problem, tell them how you fixed it, and hope you can get it reinstated. If the answer was no, however, you didn't do anything wrong, they blacklisted you, they connected you to some Chinese hacker, and you didn't do anything yourself, my suggestion would be to appeal it, just like my first suggestion. But secondarily, I would work with an Amazon sales rep, which I can introduce you to. Send me an email over to podcast@myamazonguy, and I can introduce you to somebody who can send you a new invite. But make sure your business is legitimate. You've got an LLC, you have a banking account, you have a credit card all ready to go before you reach out. That way I can line you up, get you in a new account, and there's no cost for that introduction. This is just me giving back to the community. It's the right thing to do. Great question. What is the difference between auto substitutes and category targeting? Boy, I have to think about this one for a second. Let's go into a campaign and see if we can pull up some examples. All right, so here is my actual advertising account. Let's hit create campaign. And I believe you are asking for auto substitutes on the auto campaign bidding. So let's see how I get this. Suggested bid for regular days, set bids by targeting. This is new. So that's kind of cool. All right, so let's just take in this one right there. So we're going to do a holster here. Automatic targeting. We got the dynamic bids. Oh, there's a cool button. Launch to other marketplace. You want to launch your ads in Canada and Mexico at the same time? There's that button. That's kind of cool. And there's the top of search we were talking about. You can bid up higher to be top of search. A lot of people generally think that around 20% is the proper top of search bid. Nobody bids product pages high that I know anyway. I do not believe. Choose your targeting strategy. Here we go. Let's see. Targeting group. Here's the close match, loose match substitutes. So substitutes and category targeting. The part of the question that's confusing is the category targeting part of your question. So here is auto substitutes. We'll show your ad to shoppers who use the detail pages of similar products. If your product is a Doppler 400 count cotton sheets, we'll show it on 300 count cotton sheets and Queen 400 count sheets, right? So substituting the product. This is the easier part of the question because you're substituting the product straightforward right there. But category targeting, that's totally different. This is when you're setting up an ad to target a specific category. And I believe that has to be done via manual here. So let's go through the motions. Product targeting, category targeting. So notice how we had to switch from auto to manual and to product targeting to select a category like this. Okay. So now you can hit an ad. Hey, there's our bid at 49 cents. And boom, you could go off and hit submit and launch campaign. So category targeting will advertise to everything inside of the category. I think I'm trying to understand. I think I understand the question even more. And the longer I try and answer it, basically a substitute will show up on another product in the category. So what is the difference? Okay, now that I've kind of thought about this for 2 minutes, now I understand why you're asking this. What is the difference? Well, automatic versus manual is the difference. But the result that comes out of this will be different. So generally speaking, in an auto campaign substitute targeting question, you will see less control because it's competing for the other 4 types inside of the auto. Versus this, you're going straight into the category and you can select which category. So I would say that the manual product targeting has more control. That's my answer, and I'm sticking to it. If anybody else wants to weigh in on that one, that's a really great PPC question that I've never had before. Fantastic. Naveeds, thank you so much for the $20 donation. I used to resell on Amazon with a business partner. I would source, he would sell. I'm on my own now, but I need help to know what items that I source are profitable and popular. Is there a company that can consult me? There is so many companies that consult you that there are probably, for every one my Amazon guy out there, there are probably 100 sourcing agencies out there and probably 1,000 consultants on sourcing out there. If you go on Upwork or any of those sort of VA websites, you're going to find a bunch of people that focus on finding products as a service as well. And I would say it's very difficult to measure if they know what they're talking about. So my best advice here is don't try and source products from a data standpoint. I'm a data guy. I make all of my decisions based on data, with one exception. I only source items that I come up with that I understand. So my advice to you is, what do you understand? What is your number one hobby? I'm a chess player. You can see behind me. Let's see if I move this out of the way, right? You can see that chessboard right there. That was, by the way, that was donated to me from one of our listeners. Thank you, Jeff. And I could go to market with a chessboard like that. I never will, but I could, because I was on the chess national circuit. I played in the US Open. I've beaten masters. Like, I'm a really freaking good chess player. But the reason I'm not going to do it is because it's such a commoditized category and I don't like it. So here's how this would go down. I would write down a list of everything I know about that I'm really smart in and I understand. And then I would go to sourcing and logistics and check out the costs. I would get quotes for the cost of goods. And I know when I was in high school, I taught in chess lessons at elementary schools. I did this in college as well. I taught in more than 250 elementary schools over the course of about 5 years in the state of Utah. If you are listening to this and you're from the state of Utah, chances are I've taught at your elementary school, especially if you're near the Salt Lake Valley. And in any case, when I looked at the cost of goods for chess sets, I back in high school, I actually sold chess sets. I had a relationship with a wholesaler. This was my first entrepreneurial thing that I personally did. And I sold chess sets in the hundreds to my chess students. And I made more money selling chess sets than I sold in my time teaching lessons, which is why I've always been interested in product businesses. This is the root and the ethos behind my storyline. Well, how much does it cost to make a chess set? Not that much, which is why they're dirt cheap all over the place and why I chose to not sell chess sets. If you are in love with a product or a hobby, write it down. Then go check to see if the math checks out. Then consult the sourcing experts and get quotes. I would not start with a product sourcing company and tell them, go and find me something, right? Otherwise, you're going to be like the Jews and Moses, lost in the wilderness for 50 years for reasons you could have controlled, right? You need to stick to what you understand and then go look at the data in that order. So, fantastic question. The other thing is, real quick, fast questions on this. Do make sure that if it's your first product, avoid supplements. Do make sure if it's your first product that it's small and light and easy to do. If you're a knowledgeable Amazon seller, then go do the hard stuff. Get the big boxes, get the big items, the high ticket items that are heavy, and that's fine. But don't do difficult categories to start. Technology, also another difficult category. How you doing, Jeff? I don't have any questions today. What? Oh, wait, your hierarchy of contacting seller support really works. I've used it several times now and have gotten results. I'm so glad to hear that. Thank you for that. I love when people return and report that what I say works. I also like it when they return and say it didn't work. That happens less frequently, hopefully. But great endorsement. Thank you, Jeff. I really appreciate that. Jeffrey Vallon, when using the campaign manager targeting tab, the suggested bid and range are higher than when I view the same info in the campaign itself. Time frame, date range, match type, all the same. Thoughts? We have found the same thing. Unfortunately, the data is either delayed or does not correlate. And there's nothing I can suggest to change that. You're going to have to make business decisions based on the data that you have access to at the location you are working on it. So don't have a great answer on that one. I apologize, Jeff. For a new product in the probiotic supplement category, tough category, that is not unique, it's going to get tougher from here. How long might it take to return a profit? Probably 20 months. Assuming competitively priced with perfect detail page and perfectly run PPC. I'm going to stick to my answer, 20 months. It's just a super competitive category. Unless you were in the top 10 in that category, it's going to take you 20 months to turn a profit. Brian says, I got a counterfeit strike from Amazon without a test buy from the rights owner. The DVDs are not counterfeits, but I buy them from Goodwill. Is there anything I can do to fight this? Thanks. Yes, if you're selling DVDs from Goodwill, mark them as used. You won't have a problem, generally speaking. Go ahead and fight the claim and say, hey, here is the proof that the item is legitimate. And quite frankly, you will win these eventually. You just got to keep filing the reports until it goes down. You will eventually win. It's very easy to fight trademark infringement from my experience. SC Trojan, my listing allows 6 bullet points. is everything indexed? I once heard only the first 2,000 characters within the bullets. So that statement that the only 2,000 characters within the bullets is indexed is a rumor that is unconfirmed. We don't know if that's true or not. However, I would not put too many bullet points. Amazon A/B tested 2 weeks ago, removing bullet points from product consumables. They're constantly running tests to see what creates the most conversion, and bullet points are not for the humans. They are for the robots. So I would say stick to the 2,000 characters just in case, but stick 500 words of copy in the A+ content. We do know for 100% certainty more copy will lead to indexing from A+ content. So highly recommend that. If you're liking the show so far, slam that like button. Help me out with the YouTube algorithm. We appreciate your help. Karen, capital is tight. I'm launching a new ASIN, ordering a small test quantity. If I notice good sales velocity, then I'll immediately reorder. I will raise price and reduce PPC to slow sales. Thoughts? That's exactly how I recommend doing it. In a low capital situation, there is no better way to do it than to literally small tests, go out of stock potentially, but raise the price and slow down PPC so the reorder can come in. Karen, the other thing I would say is you probably need to get a product that has less likelihood of being knocked off. A lot of the products that, Karen, that you sell that I've seen are very easy to get off Alibaba. So the biggest challenge that you are going to have is there's no brand equity. You are selling something that everybody else is selling. So I recommend creating a kit, doing something unique, something that will set you apart for longevity. Otherwise, why would somebody buy the item for you at $12 when they can get it from the Chinese guy for $10? That's going to be your challenge, in my opinion. There are 5 keywords that I advertise, but the keyword with the high search volume consumes the entire budget. That's why the rest of the keywords are not showing. What would I recommend? This one's an easy question. Take those 4 keywords and make another campaign. Done. That's really it. You're going to have to segment your advertising because Amazon sees that one keyword doing well. They're going to put all the traffic there. That's inevitable. This is a very common problem. Good news is easy solution. Just slough off those 4 keywords to their own campaign. Is it safe to say you can go over 250 characters for bullet points as long as you allow to save and finish? I mean, yes, I think so, but I wouldn't go too far over. I would say overall, you're probably going to be capped somewhere between 1,000 and 2,000 characters on bullet points. We don't know for sure where that indexing rumor came from or how to answer or address it. But for now, I would say 250 characters per bullet is pretty much what I would target. Search volume on main keywords has been fluctuating greatly, sometimes super low, sometimes super high. Given this, how often should we be updating the listing SEO and how often to update our PPC keyword targets? I would update your SEO once every 30 to 90 days, depending on the velocity of your item. If you are running our SEO phases, we just launched SEO phase 4, which allows for the search query report to help you target by market share. It's one of the coolest new tools within Amazon. We've shown this a couple times in some of our videos. If you want to learn more about that, type into Google Phase 4 SEO, My Amazon Guy, or Search Query Report, My Amazon Guy, to learn more. But in essence, you want to run everything through the phases of SEO. So for a recap's sake, SEO Phase 0, do the research. Phase 1, index the product. Phase 2, incrementally index the product. Phase 3, strike zone keywords in ranks 20 through 50 to push them up to rank 1 through 10. And Phase 4, market share, which is now possible through the search query report. You can see the percentage of your item and how it does in impressions and clicks and add to carts and sales. It's a really cool report to give you guys an idea how well your product's doing at the keyword level. So in terms of keyword fluctuation, once a month is generally what you can do to compensate up and down. The lower your budget, the more this will impact you. But by and large, seasonal items have the largest impact. Mother's Day and Christmas for gifts for mom is a great example. And every May and every Christmas, I have lots of sales. But then we get to June and July and sales really suck. So just watch the keyword trends. I don't think you have to do a lot of tactical up and down work with this in mind. The PPC campaigns maybe can go lower bids when there's higher impressions, but you can't really micro it too much more than that. Cool peeps, should you advertise on a virtual bundle or just let it be? First of all, you can't do sponsored products. You can only do sponsored brands. Second of all the virtual bundle sales count on the original child ASIN. Most people don't know this, which means even if you get sales on the virtual bundle, you won't recognize them. You won't even know it. Therefore, hard to justify advertising. Generally not needed. I would just not advertise them just because you can't track the sales. I need a few international markets, Australia, Singapore, to increase my shipping restock limit. Can I just send an email to seller support? Any specific help category to select? Yes. They just launched a new way to request increasing your restock limits. I don't believe I'm going to be able to find this on the fly, but I'm going to try. Let's see how well we do here. Restock limits. Let's see how good they're. Sorry, we can't understand your issue. Really, Amazon? Nobody ever has ever asked for restock limit increases, ever. Right? All right, let's see. Let's add the word increase. Still no. All right, browse the issue. Let's see what we can find. I think it's going to be under FBA, fulfilled by Amazon. Inventory shipped inbound, inventory damaged, inventory removal, other FBA issues. Stranded, hazmat, other, reserved, confirm. Let's try other. Probably the one I would go to. I swear, though, I do remember seeing a restock limits button at some point. Maybe they took it away. That's entirely possible. Let's try a couple other things. Investigate missing, other shipment to Amazon questions. Let's try that one. So in here, contact us. Hey, I want to increase my restock limits. That's where I would file it. I do have a video on how we filed some of these tickets in the past. It was pretty hit or miss. And I would say in other countries, your success chances are going to go down considerably. Bad news bears on that one. How soon should you start negating keywords on a new campaign? I would say as soon as you have the data. What is the data? Well, for some people, it might be 20 clicks. For others, it might be 200. 20 clicks on one keyword without a sale, chances are probably a safe negation. But if you have a low conversion category, you might have way different math. Depends on your category on that side or that angle. But in general, I'm going to negate things that don't make sense. If I sell a beer glass with "This is the way" on it, this is one of my items for those Star Wars fans out there. If I was selling this glass, I know for certainty stainless steel and plastic are never going to convert on my glass. Therefore, I will negate those out. New chapter. Customer has sent a review via seller feedback, and I contacted Amazon to see if I could be transferred to review section. Not heard from seller support yet. Any advice? Nothing you can do here. You can contact the seller feedback person who left that for you and ask them to leave a product review. About a 10% chance that'll work. Definitely worth doing, though, if it was a nice review, but they will not transfer them back and forth. You're SOL on that one. You mentioned number one, new seller badge in one of your sessions. Please elaborate on what it is and how to get it. All right, let's check it out. So we're going to go over to Amazon proper, if you will. We're going to go to one of my products. So we're going to go, let's do the Mega Pint Cup. So we're going to scroll down and we're going to go down to the wine glass category. So this is the number 180th in tumblers and water glasses right now. And here you go. Here is the number one new seller. It's a Yeti Rambler. Yeti's pretty cool, right? There is the badge in question, number one bestseller. However, to get the new seller, you just need to be the best seller in the category for the last 90 days of new products. So the number one new seller, we might be able to get on Amazon new seller badges. Let's try this out. So let's type in Amazon new release bestsellers. Let's see what Google gets us. New releases in books, new releases in features. I doubt that's going to be a good one. Let's see. Amazon hot releases. Let's click on this product and see what we got. Number one new release in baby. Here we go. I found it. Here you go, Mr. Hassan. Number one new release in baby. Look how similar that looks versus number one bestseller. It looks almost the same, does it not? That's because that's going to be helpful. And now I'm wondering if I should have bought one. So this, okay, breast pump looked like so number one new release in baby. So there you go. Electronics, video games, collectibles. You can see all kinds of number one badges here. As a consumer, I don't think a lot of people are going to come to this page. But as a seller, if you're looking for ideas and you're like, what's the top, what's moving right now? Well, we got Elden Ring. Everybody's talking about that online. You got Pokemon Arceus. It's been a while since I've been in my Pokemon game. I traded my Pokemon cards in high school. Actually, junior high. I traded them in junior high for a signed Kobe Bryant card, which I sold on eBay last year for $550. So 12-year-old Steven made about $250 over the long haul of 10 years of trading up tradable cards. Not a real good track record. All right, I think that's probably good for the number one new release badge. Let's go to the next question. Thanks for the suggestion on creating a kit, essentially to focus on product differentiation. The risk, however, is what can we do to ensure a kit differentiation we create is something people even want? Well, couple of ideas there. Idea number one, go look at frequently bought together, which is not even triggering on my brand new Mega Pint cup. But let's go over to the Monster store. Let's click on one of my long-standing sellers. Let's go over to my Shark Glass. These are banned from advertising. I got an extra 1,000 of these sitting. I need to get rid of them. So I've been lowering the price to try and move them. And buy it with. Here we go. So if you look at this is probably not a good example, but selling a mama shark and a grandma shark together to kit them, get presents for everybody in the family, would be an example of how you could do this. Now, in this particular case, I already know kitting together multiple shark glasses, it was kind of soft, didn't do too well. So probably a bad example. Let's go back to the drawing board here, though. If we were to look at probably maybe not a wine glass per se, Mr. and Mrs. Right. Let's try this one. And on here, frequently bought together, other Mr. and Mrs. Right products. Well, if people are buying multiple Mr. and Mrs. Right products together, is it safe to assume we could build a kit? Well, guess what? There's a kit already. Clearly doing well with 5,000 reviews, Mr. and Mrs. $36 kit, just like this. And it looks deluxe, right? That's the name of their brand, it looks like. So there you have it. That's how you check out to see if kits are going to do well. First of all, you can see other people selling them. Second of all, look at frequently bought together. That's my first tip for you. And then the other thing is just ask people, just ask your customers what they buy, what they would buy together. David says, have you noticed the large difference in sales between search catalog performance? I think we covered this one. Let's go to the next. GS1 versus UPS. I think he means UPC. Pros and cons. Can I get in trouble when using the UPC? So far in the United States, I think you can get away with still buying recharged UPCs without getting in too much trouble. However, once your brand makes one purchase from GS1, you are locked in for good. In Europe, I've seen massive takedowns where they are removing listings, but in the US, we just haven't seen it. It seems like they've backed off their high horse and are not enforcing GS1 barcodes. We have had GS1 come on our podcast. It is some of the drier podcasts we've ever done, which is why I pawned it off to Jason Master Mateo to do the interview. But we do have them come on and talk to us. So if you want to learn more about the boring topic of GS1 and UPC codes, Jason did this about 2 or 3 weeks ago. Go watch that UPC GS1 podcast and check it out. Do you track keyword indexing on an account-wide level? For instance, number of keywords in ranks 1 through 20, or just at the product level. Trying to make a high-level SEO report, ideas where to start. Keyword tracking is always a product-level question. If you're looking at account level, do traffic and conversion and sales. Do not do overall keywords at an account level. It's too misleading because 20% of your portfolio is 80% of your sales, which means 80% of your keywords are at 20% of your portfolio. So if you want to track improvements, logic would say just launch more products if you do it at account level. But if you do it at the product level, you're going to be way better off because you're going to track the right things. By the way, guys, we just hit a new record for live attendees at 75 people tuned in today. Let's give a thumbs up in the comments for number of live record attendees. I appreciate that. Let's go to the next one. Zeke says, I want to sell under small and light, but also want the Prime badge. Is it okay to have a cheaper version under small and light and a variation of the same item with better packaging with FBA? Okay, I gotta reread this one. Small and light, also Prime badge. Okay, so I used on my Sage smudge kits. Let's go over to my smudge kits right here. I have the 3-pack. Historically, I've kept it in small and light because I wasn't making money. I recently raised the price to $10. So small and lights used to be, you had to be under $8. They recently changed that. And cool, I got the local business tag. How about that? This item is sold by Age of Sage, a local business to your delivery zip code. So people in Georgia will see the local business tag because that's where I'm located, which is kind of cool. All right, so let's take, first of all, I'm kind of curious, how did I do with the price change? I kind of want to see like how that's working for me. See the stock levels, we're at 873, FBA fees at 294. So it looks like I might still be getting qualified for the small and light here. FBA fees. All right, so let's look in here. So I raised the price. I forget which day now. Did the price? Well, let's go look inside of Helium 10. We usually can see your trigger. All right, let's hit the login button here. Let's see if this re-triggers. I want to see when I raised the price and how that affected the BSR. So, all right, Helium 10 finally loading. So the price was raised right here. So on this exact day, do you see how the BSR went up? So higher price, is that affecting my sales? Yep, you can see it right here. But I'm making more money. So I went from a BSR average of 8,000 and I'm up to 15,000 now. Having said that, I was also up there back in April. So I had to raise prices because I'm losing money on this item. We thought about even discontinuing it because making money on this is very, very difficult. We got 610 reviews. We're at a 4.6 average. So we just dropped from our 4.7. I'm getting some negative reviews coming in from Canada because some resellers are retail arbitraging my product up there and they're leaving not worth for the costs, terrible value, stuff like that. So I'm getting some of those. Let's see. Do any of these show up in Canada? All right. No Canada 1-star showing up in the US. That's good, at least. Okay. So here is proof you can have small and light and for it to work out, right? I just showed you 1,500 units sold in the last 30 days, right? So it's proof. It works. Is it okay to have a cheaper version and use the same variation with better packaging with FBA? That's the part of the question that's a little tricky. I would say you can't have the same product with two fulfillment methods on the same listing. It just simply won't work. One will kick the other out of the buy box. So that's the rub on that one, Zeke. Eperson 2000. Any advice on Hazmat product submissions? SCA sheet adequate, accidental swear word. Sanitation products. Yeah, kind of. So basically, when you fill out the sheet, not to be confused with the other word I uttered, you just need to give them the right information so they classify it as quickly as possible. Load the PDF and fill it out. Now, if you're filing an exemption, the advice I would give is file it until they get it to take and it goes through. But if you're just doing the run of the mill, like, hey, I do have a Hazmat, no advice for you. You're just going to have limited storage issues with Hazmat products, which is kind of a problem. Easiest way to clear slow selling variations, asks Justin. Take them out of a parentage and drop the price significantly. leave them in the parentage, and lower the price. I'll give a case example of this. So I relaunched my vintage wine glasses, which I had sold for several years and did pretty well with them. But I wasn't really making money. So here's an example of this. Okay, so here's one product left in stock with a 1980 on it, which means this was probably a return. But what I was trying to do is I actually lowered the price of all of the glass vintages down to $4, and I just wanted to knock them out and get rid of them. Right. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to fix this live. I'm going to lower this price down to $4. Actually, I'm going to go all the way down to $3.99. I'm going to lose money to get rid of this product because I don't really want it on the parentage. And I revitalized and I did tumblers instead of glass. Right. But I didn't want the glass to show up. And then I just kind of kept the big ears and ignored the rest. Right. So that's kind of how I did there. So I would keep it inside the parentage. I just showed you living proof how I do it. It does work. Then the traffic from the other listings will knock out the other ones. It's kind of like discontinuing a product. You won't offend anybody. Go ahead and do it. Getting a bunch of thumbs up. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you celebrating the channel and all you do. Mr. Pope, can you put Amazon coupon codes on a product insert? Not coupon codes, technical term here. It's promo codes. Yes, you can. You can do a promo code. We want people to buy more product through Amazon, not worried about reviews as long as they come with sales. Yes, this is totally kosher. Not a problem. Amar from LinkedIn says, CPC goes high and high since August of 2021. Your thoughts, please. Well, inflation has been a problem also back in August or thereabouts. I believe that's when Apple and Facebook were having some fights. The PPC costs on Facebook became well, it wasn't that the PPC costs on Facebook updated so much as the ability to target using Apple products pretty much evaporated. So everybody took their money and shoved it into Amazon. So my best thought here, Amar, is that no, we'll never return to lower PPC costs. That just simply won't happen. Best thing you can do, focus on SEO. Last week we had we released a use case study. I might actually be able to show it live here. Go over to the website and show you this. We show a lot of our results over on the website. You can go to myamazonguy.com, click on case studies. And one of the ones we recently released was an SEO only one. Actually, I haven't even put it on the website yet, it looks like. Well, I'll just tell you from memory. They were selling 20,000 a week and we doubled them. 100%, no PPC, doing 40,000 a week now off the top of my memory. So you can definitely do things with SEO still. PPC costs never coming down. Joseph Feltz, Amazon is shipping my product in its original box. Show what's inside. To hide it, choose ship in Amazon's packaging at checkout. How to fix this? Well, for the most part, many of you guys have heard me tell my hot sauce story. My hot sauce bottle is not on my desk right now. I don't know if one of my kids ran off with it. And I don't see it behind me. Nope. Okay. So essentially, the story that I've told many times, so I'll give you the highlighted version. I shipped in 1,000 hot sauce bottles to Amazon, and I paid them to do the prep work. Then Amazon shipped them out after they put bubble wrap on the glasses. These are 5-pound, big, giant hot sauce bottles. They shipped them out in padded envelopes. You will never be able to control what Amazon does with their FBA facilities. They are garbage in, garbage out. No brains whatsoever over there. Caveman are touching your products and shipping them out. So if you are worried about them shipping in your own box, ship a better brown box over the layering of your retail packaging. That is the only thing you have control to do. Sorry about that, but that's the best thing I can mention. Musa, I recently got review manipulation strike from Amazon. Do I have to reply to Amazon or wait 180 days until it gets removed? P.S. Account is at risk of deactivation. So for the most part, these are false positives. You can reply to them, but I've tried to fight these many, many times. From my experience, they simply go away on their own, and no amount of replies does any good for the account. So yes, I think you're probably safe just to wait that one out. Maz says, have sold 250 units on a new launch. So far, haven't received a single review. Not sure. Reorder the product. Any advice? Well, how fast did you sell the units? 250 units in 5 days or over 4 months? Depending on the answer to that question, I probably would reorder it. Also, how's your PPC doing? You don't need reviews to launch your product. You don't need to factor that in as part of the reorder either. I would say make the decision purely based on margin and the profitability. How much did you spend to launch the product? How much is it producing? Reorder based on those results. Forensics Detectors asks, what's up, Pope? Hey, my man Steve, is it against Amazon TOS to pop a flyer in my products sold on Amazon to direct consumers to my Shopify store? Yes. Anything that directs you away from Amazon is against T&C, especially as it relates to buying a product. I think the gray area right now is, can you send them to social media to give them an incentive? That I think is okay right now, not going to be a problem. But when it comes to Shopify, that is the direct competitor. Don't fight. Don't mess with fire on this one. I wouldn't risk it. Jordan Lee Smith says, what's your best tip for reaching out to influencers for a new product launch? I think Adam Heiss has the best video on the market on this question right now. If somebody wants to link to it, feel free, or the name of the video. You guys don't have permissions to put links in there. That's our spam protection. Apologies. But yeah, just go look up influencers Adam Heist. He's got the best video on this one, in my opinion. Steve Filion, starting to sell a brand, not yet brand registered. Do you recommend I try and register the brand under my account, document required, or the brand does brand registry and give me permission, pros and cons? I think brand registry control is way better, way superior, Steve. Get the brand to get you permissions. If you want to get it approved without brand registry, you're going to take a cell phone picture. You're going to grab that cell phone, take a cell phone picture of the packaging, and you can most of the time get it approved that way. But Steve, if I were you, get the brand registry control so you can get A+ content, all that good stuff built. Martin from, would you make a video on seller partner API from Amazon? Thank you. I'm a marketer who understands tech, but I draw the line at APIs. I have $1 million that I've invested into my own technologies, but I pay developers to do that stuff. So I wouldn't be able to provide a video on this one. I apologize, Martin. Coming in from Facebook, Mr. Hussein. Hello, Stephen. Hopefully you're fine and doing well. Sometimes the hijacker claims the listing in case we didn't enroll for the Amazon brand registry. When we try and edit the listing, Amazon responds the ASIN is controlled by the brand and any changes will go through them. In short, they don't allow us to edit the listing. Told Amazon my client is the one who created the listing for the first, and on Seller Central provided the letter of authenticity of the... Any more to that question? All right, so I'll answer it as is. So my thought would be make sure that the Seller Central admin email address is connected to the brand registry. Go over to brand registry, click on users, and make sure it's connected. If it is, then you have a brand registry node ID issue. In that case, file tickets asking them to set the brand node. Make sure also you've loaded UPCs to the UPC GTIN field on the back end of Seller Central. Do those things, your problem should be sayonara. Please take questions from Facebook Live too. So I do prioritize the sticker, the donations, and the YouTube memberships. I do take questions from other platforms as soon as we go through the paying members first. If you want to become a member, go to YouTube and hit that join button. Becca says, are the deeply discounted partner carrier rates billed as an inbound transportation charge worth looking into, trying to trim costs? Yeah, pretty much. They are worth doing, in my opinion, because if the item gets lost, Amazon reimburse you. So I think it's safer. It's just safer for your product and inventory. Peace of mind, if you will. I'm new here, but feeling good to see such productive discussion. Really well. Sir Stephen, how are you? Coming from LinkedIn. I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. Had a nasty cold 2 weeks ago. Business is growing. I've never been more positive about growing my own company. Economy in shambles, though. Don't go alone. You need experts to help you right now on Amazon. Hussein says, my friend reviewed my product yesterday. I knew that 4 of my reviews got removed. What do you advise? Do I contact them about it? Well, you're not supposed to allow your friends to leave reviews so they can get you in trouble. I would not contact Amazon about this at all. They will penalize you. Anytime people are connected to you, whether you've shared the same IP addresses, whether you're in the same house or Facebook groups, stuff like that, Amazon has sophisticated tech right now to track that down. So be careful. Don't play with fire on that one. 3 more questions today. All right. Sam says, hi, Steven. I'm going to launch 2 new products. Same idea, item, just some small features, differences. Would you suggest to add both in the same category or each keep separate? I'm indifferent on this question. I don't think category impacts it too much. I would say when in doubt, separate them, but it probably won't impact things too much. Probably minimal at all. Jordan Lee, if I put text in my product description and then no text in EBC, will the description text still index even though the EBC will replace it in the detail page? My belief is no. I do not believe so. However, I do know some people that still fill it in. I do recommend having text in EBC, though. That is the maximum impact answer. And our last question today, Becca says, what does changing the product ID and product ID type via flat file from ASIN to UPC do? Well, it's kind of like taking Tylenol. It pretty much cures all of your problems. I've never seen more data issues by not having a UPC loaded to the product ID type field. I just strongly advise and recommend it. It connects it to your brand registry. People have paid me thousands of dollars in coaching sessions for me to fix this problem on their account. And I'm telling you, it's just the greatest things you guys got to do. So highly recommend that. If you like today's show, I appreciate it if you can hit that like button, leave a comment with something that you thought you learned today. I know that Edgar learned something today. He learned about hard stop. Edgar is one of our clients at My Amazon Guy. We met him over at Prosper, and a great human being. We love working with his family. So no hard stop today, just out of gas. It was my pleasure answering questions today. I hope you guys all have a great weekend. Enjoy the nice weather and spring coming out. And my name is Stephen Pope. I'm the founder of My Amazon Guy. We're a 300-person agency with employees around the world. If you want a job, apply at myamazonguy.com/jobs.